Welcome to the first episode of FLUCO DEETS. My name is Molly.
And my name is Ruby, and today we'll be interviewing some of our athletes here at FCHS and our near and dear athletic trainer, Tyler Golden.
First, we're going to have our athletes and our athletic trainer introduce themselves.
My name's Alex. I'm a senior. I've swam my whole life, and I've done field hockey for the past 3 years at the high school, and I'm committed to Northeastern to swim.
Yeah, my name is Jackson Fields. I'm also a senior here at Fluvanna. I've played baseball, since I was probably 6, and I've also ran track the past 3 years in high school. I'm committed to Bridgewater for baseball.
And I'm Tyler Golden. I'm the athletic trainer. I ran track in high school, did a couple other sports, and then I also ran track at George Mason University.
Thank you. And today we're going to be talking about the balance between mental health and athletics.
Okay, so Tyler, in your experience, you talk to a lot of athletes.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is the biggest internal struggle that you see, and how do you kind of correlate that with your own past athletic experience?
Yeah, I think the main thing is just dealing with setbacks, whether they be like a bad performance or an injury that's going to knock you out for a certain amount of time. I definitely, when I first got to college, struggled keeping up with everybody because it was a next level kind of thing, and
Right.
you just kind of got to keep thinking about the positives and think about what you have done well and not focus on the negative things all the time. And that helps get you through it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Is there anything that you guys, if there's something that internally, as a young high school athlete, that you go through in high school versus college, are you nervous to go to college because of what Tyler just said, or is that something that you think you already have that balance because, you are committed and you do it in high school already?
I'm a little nervous to go, but I'm honestly more excited than I am nervous.
Right.
I know it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a lot of work, and it's just going to be hard, but I know that I'm just going to have a good support system there and at home. So in the end, I know I'm going to be able to get through it. I'm going to be able to overcome it. So.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it's different for whatever sport you do. For example, track is a lot of self versus self, whereas baseball or any other team sports, basically your team versus other team. I've had the most mental health struggles in track because you go out, every weekend in the winter and you run races and you try to win and get your PR.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, it's why am I here?
Right.
I'm here all day.
I agree with swim.
Yeah.
And then
you said it's, go ahead.
I was gonna say baseball. You struggle with injuries, and
Right.
Going to the next level. That's what you kind of go for is
Yeah.
the competition.
And you said it's different between sports. Do you think it's different between a male and a female?
It might be. I've never discussed that. So I don't know.
Okay, so based on your personal experiences, what advice would you give to other fellow athletes watching when it comes to mental struggles or even physical struggles?
Right.
I would say just talk to people. Talk to your family, talk to your friends, talk to your coaches. Surround yourself with people that you are comfortable with and that you want to be with. If you don't want to be with people, don't be around them.
Right.
You need to have a good support system that supports you and the decisions you're making, and they help you, because if you don't have that, then everything collapses and falls apart. So I just think me having a good support system at the high school and also with my club teams and everything has really helped me grow as an athlete.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd say you really gotta love what you do. Whether that's running or baseball. A lot of people are asked, my baseball buddies tell me I can't believe you like to run around that circle. And it's not necessarily, I'm not thinking of running right now. I'm thinking of what I do from running, and when I'm hitting baseballs after practice and I'm just putting in extra work, I'm never thinking of wow, this sucks, right? I'm thinking of wow, this return is hopefully going to be good, right? So if you don't love what you do, it's going to be hard to do it.
Yeah, and would you say keeping up with emphasizing the competition kind of aspect of it, putting that ahead of the work that you need to get there and kind of just glorifying the competition, having fun? Do you think that's kind of what you guys try and do?
Impactful?
Yeah.
I know I've been to practice and I've been swimming and I'm this sucks.
No, it's
But
real.
it is you have, you said, you do have to love it. I wake up at 5 in the morning and I go swim in a cold pool every morning. That's rough, and that's hard work. So you do have to like it. And I think practice is sometimes harder than the competition, because the competition you're there and you're like, oh, I'm surrounded with my friends. Not that you're not at practice, but like you're just like, this is what I've worked towards. Like I'm excited to show all the hard work that I've done in the pool and out of the pool, and finally like show it off. And then it's a little different.
What would you say?
Yeah, I think just sometimes making practice the competition gets you through it. If you're just, oh, I love racing, and you might only, in college, sometimes you don't race for 2-3 weeks till you get to like a specific meet. So you've got 3 weeks of trying to bring the energy at practice, and if you really hate practice, it's going to be a long 3 weeks. So just trying to find a little something that kind of keeps you motivated, keeps you going. Typically, from my experience, it was teammates. Like we always just tried to push each other, and if you're getting better and they're right with you, they're getting better too. So that was kind of the goal for our practices.
But that's really challenging too. Jackson, what do you think about that?
Like I said, I've learned to love the struggle.
Right.
Like there was times this winter track season I was just like, I really only like to like work out and like run like at practice. I know it sounds crazy, but there was times where I wasn't PRing in my main events, and it was a real struggle, because like I've been putting in the work, and I'm just going wasting a Saturday when I could be doing something I really want to do. But so yeah, you gotta love what you do.
Yeah. How would you guys define mental health? Is there like an example of how you struggled with it when you were playing sports, and is there a way that you could like execute that like outside of your sport, or like what would you say to someone if they asked you like, oh, what is mental health when it comes to playing baseball or swimming or being an athletic trainer, like,
I think it's just handling kind of the ups and downs. Obviously more the downs, the ups are great, but when things aren't going well, not dwelling on it, not letting it snowball, things like that. And I definitely, like I was saying, struggled when I first got to college. Everyone was way better than me. I felt like I was out of shape, and thought about transferring, quitting, things like that. But it's just like I do love the sport, and I do love my teammates. That kind of ultimately just made me stick through it. So it's okay to feel like every now and then like maybe I do want to quit, but not making decisions like snap decisions like that lightly. Make sure you're really thinking about it, and ultimately if you love the sport, you'll stick around.
Yeah, and if you love the people you do it with too, definitely
For sure.
helps.
Yeah, people have just like talked to me like if I'm feeling down or like upset, I'm not excited to go to practice or be at practice or compete in my meet. People have talked to me, they've kind of read the room and read how I'm feeling, and they've just been able to like be like, you're gonna do great. Like they've just like helped me feel better about myself. So I always try to do that when I notice other people are upset. I just try to talk to them, get them ready, throw out a compliment or two, get them excited to be there and to do their best. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know, honestly. Like I don't know the exact definition of mental health, but when I think of like how I'm feeling mentally is like, what am I telling myself, during my competitions, during like a game, if I'm hitting in the lineup, right, if I'm going up to hit baseball wise, and there's this really fast pitcher, right, he's got good stuff to work with. If I'm like, if I put myself out of the game before I even get into it,
You're never gonna know.
yeah, I'm never gonna succeed, so.
Positive self-talk.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
All the
The
time.
little things, right?
And have there been any instances where you guys failed at your sports, but you kind of got back up again? So can you
Yeah,
describe?
definitely. I've played travel baseball. That's kind of just something that comes with the sport, is just playing
Happens every day.
more of it. And I remember it was probably a 12U travel team. I got put on the B team, and that was like, it was like a big weight on my shoulders. Like it was just like you weren't enough to make the cut, but hey, you can still play with these guys who also didn't make the cut. So yeah, I've definitely failed in baseball and track and upwards basketball. Like I've failed a lot, right? But it's just, it makes you better. You gotta learn, and you gotta remember like what made you fail,
Right, exactly.
And you have
how are you
to.
gonna overcome that?
Yep.
Succeed the next time.
Yeah.
Last year it was Olympic year, and I was trying to go out for my Olympic trial cut, and I didn't get it. I'm like a second off, and racing in like my last race to like be able, like my last meet to like be able to get that qualifying time, and me not getting it, it was really hard because I put in so much work. Like,
Yeah.
you know, everybody here knows, like, blood, sweat, tears, literally,
Yeah,
like, literally on the
Literally,
field or in the
blood,
pool, you know. So I was really upset, but I allowed myself to be upset and, like, know that I failed, but, like, I was okay with that because I was like, there's always other years, like, I'm going to college, like, I'm gonna get better, like, even though I missed my opportunity now, like, I know there's still more opportunities in the future for me
Yeah.
to improve and get better. So, yeah, I allowed myself to be upset, but I talked to my coaches and my friends and family, and I felt better about it, and it's okay, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think processing those emotions as an athlete are definitely
And
super
understanding that it's okay, like, to
Yeah.
not be okay sometimes, like,
Yeah.
it's life, it's gonna happen. And do you think, Tyler, like, being an athletic trainer, like, you've seen literally everything, like, you've seen the physicality of it, you've seen the internal struggles, like, do you think that, it takes a bigger toll on somebody who has, like, this major setback trying to have a comeback, or do you think that, like, in a way, is it worth it, or do you think that, like, oh, like, you said you went to college and you were like, I wanna give up, but you didn't give up, like, why?
Yeah, I think whether it's injury or just not performing well, that and especially with injuries, it definitely takes a mental toll. You're away from your team. Sometimes you're not working out with the team. You're not traveling with the team. So all of your friends are going to meets and they're flying here and there and they're having good races, and you're just like, well, yeah, I'm just stuck here with my broken foot, not doing
Yeah.
anything. And that is one of the hardest things mentally for any athlete, is to be kind of separated from your team.
It is.
So something that we, as athletic trainers and medical staff, that we try and do is get people back at least like on the sideline. You see it all the time in pro sports where guys are on crutches, like cheering their team on from the sideline, and keeping people involved like that is very important. And yeah, when it is you and you're not around, just kind of thinking about like, well, how can I get back to where I want to be, or how can I rejoin the team, and really just stay away from the, you know, like, oh, my life is terrible, like everything's going downhill. Don't let
Yeah.
yourself get into that kind of negative spiral, and just try to stay positive. That's why I try and keep athletes thinking
Right.
that too, because I've been the one to kind of break the news, like, hey, I think this is a season-ending injury, and I think,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to
And
need
that
surgery,
probably
and
has an effect on you too. Like, you have to break the news, which that
Yeah.
sucks. But
it's tough. I took a couple of psychology classes in school, but obviously didn't major in it. Like, I don't have a degree in psychology, but sometimes you have to be the
yeah.
therapist while you're breaking this bad news to people.
Right.
So
And like, do you think that like had an effect on why you chose to become an athletic trainer? Because like I said, you've seen it all, but you also experienced it all. Like, did that like
Yeah.
make you want to like, oh, I went through this when I was in high school, when I was in college. I want to help people overcome that. Like,
Yeah.
obviously it comes with the downs, like telling people like, hey, like this is season ending, like, you know. But at the same time, like you impact so many people, and like you don't even know that.
yeah.
So is there a reason? Like, is that the reason, or did you just? It was just what you loved.
Yeah, I think it wasn't the reason initially. I was just kind of drawn to like sports, and I love sports, and you know, just learning about the body and performance and all that kind of stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
But now that I'm in the position, like, I feel it when somebody gets knocked out for a year. I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, I've been there, and this I
Yeah.
know how bad this is. But then on the flip side, I also know that you think that season is like the most important thing in your life, and
Yeah.
in the long run it will turn out not to be. So just trying to help the athletes keep some perspective, and also encourage them to like get back to that next season, and not just be like, well, you know, my knee's wrecked, I'm done, I'll probably never play again. It's like, no, you can play again, we can get
Right.
you there, keep your head up,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's very important.
Yeah.
And do you have any advice for any athletes watching, or all of us here, you know?
From your perspectives,
Yeah.
you know it all.
I think, I mean, we've all done the high school sports, so I'll just give you a tip on the college stuff is
Yeah.
moving up to the next level, and then some people even go college to pro. You're going from, okay, I was the best in high school, and now I'm with everyone who was also the best
Also
in
the
high
best,
school. So
yeah.
to expect to make the jump and just keep going on your level of like, not domination, but continue to win things.
Continuing to do it, yeah.
There's a little bit of like, you got to mentally prepare to not win, and
Right.
I've seen people who can't handle it.
Yeah.
I don't think I won a ton of stuff in high school. I was good, but I wasn't winning a whole lot. So when I went to college and didn't win, I was kind of looking at my own personal times and be like, yeah, I'm making improvements, but I've seen people who like they expect to win every single time, and when they don't, it really just kind of sends them downhill. So
Yeah.
just kind of keep in perspective, and I think you both have said like focus on PRs, focus on, you know, your training and stuff like that. Focus on the things that you're doing well, and you are getting better, whether the results are saying that or not.
Yeah.
Right. And to finish it off, like using what he just said, like you guys are both going to college for a sport. Like, how do you think that's not like how do you think that's going to affect you, but what are you gonna do in advance to like not allow those things to happen? Because you know like your self-worth, like track that's me versus me, but like you're playing baseball, you're swimming, that's also me versus me. How are you gonna use that to your advantage and like not allow yourself to not overcome those struggles that are going to come to you because you're going to college?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try to, keep my head afloat and do good. I know that my college coaches have talked about how at their practice or every Saturday they're gonna do like an hour of mental health after like our swim practice. So like I know that I'll be like able to connect with my team and the coaches, and they'll bring somebody in for me to specifically talk to. So I think that's gonna be like a huge help to be able to like not only talk to people that I feel comfortable with, but also talk to someone who's like an outside source that I don't know and that who can help me. So I'm really excited, and I think that's gonna really help me.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna look for a community that I may have here at Flaviana, for example, FCA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for someone and something that is like-minded and something that's gonna help me as I try to better myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and teammates. I'm really only there for the Gatorade bars.
Yeah, that's important too, though.
Yeah, no sports, just food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might go to class.
Yeah. No, who knows?
So, as collegiate athletes to be, do you guys have any words of wisdom to any upcoming athletes that are wanting to join any sports here?
I say just go for it. You never know until you try. Like, maybe even if you're really bad at this one sport, you can always turn around and try another sport, and you could be really good. Like, if you're not good at that one sport and you're just kind of not feeling it, go to the next thing or stick with it. It's just, it's very just go and do whatever you want. Like, I went out and I did field hockey. I'm not the best at field hockey, but field hockey was just something for me to have fun, and I was surrounded with a bunch of people who were super nice, and I love the coaches and the team, and that was just a place for me to kind of like have fun and not focus on swimming, because swimming's like really important to me. Field hockey was just something that I was able to let loose and go to practice after school, and just like if I had a bad day, like I have field hockey to like make me feel better. So that's
and you would have never known that if you didn't try.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about you, Jackson?
Regardless what you do, give it your best effort every single day. And not necessarily, being the best version of yourself, like time-wise or, how far you can into baseball or like anything in that matter. Just like, did you work hard today, and did you improve on something that you needed improvement on? So, and don't be afraid to try something new.
For sure. Yeah. Do you have any last words, Tyler? Mr. Golden?
Trust your coaches, because they do have your interests at heart. I got kind of plucked from running hurdles and then thrown in an 800, and I was like, this is terrible. It's 2 laps around the track, and that became like my main event. I never would have tried it on my own, but coaches thought like, he might have the strength from the hurdles that we could bring over, and then it took off, and now,
trust is a huge
used to
thing.
love the 800 then after that, but
You ran that run?
yeah.
You ran a 149?
I did, yes.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you guys for tuning in to the first episode of FLUCO DEETS. My name is Molly.
And I'm Ruby.
And now you peeps are in on the deets.